Hey guys, this is Vishy and you're watching Next Sapien. I'm here today to tell you about the concept of evolution and about Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin was a British naturalist and a biologist. He studied at the Cambridge University and he proposed the theory of evolution and coined the term the survival of the fittest. Do watch the video to know more. If you like the videos, a sub would be massively appreciated. Charles Darwin is one of the most renowned biologists and naturalists till date. He studied at the Cambridge University and his mentor in college recommended that he went to the post of a naturalist in HMS Beagle in the year 1831, and he accepted to it and he went and took the post of a naturalist in HMS Beagle ship. He went on a journey for 5 years and learnt a lot. That was a turning point in his life. He collected natural specimens, birds, plants and fossils. By studying the fossils, he found out that the fossils had similarity to the animals of today. He was very curious about this. He didn't believe it to be mere coincidence. He explored into it. One particular island of interest for him in his voyage was the Galapagos Islands. He studied a bird called finch and the tortoise living there. He found out that there were two types of tortoise living there. In the island, which was abundant in vegetation, had a tortoise that had a very small neck and a different type of shell, which was more protective in nature. And the island in which there was very little vegetation and more of shrubs and trees, the tortoise had a long neck and a saddle type of shell. He thought that how was this possible? And he found out that the same tortoise had adapted to different environmental conditions. He then thought about the theory of evolution. He thought about natural selection, like how animal breeders select a particular variety and breed it. A similar kind of phenomenon takes place in nature too. He found out that not the strongest individual survived in changing environments, but the one that modified itself to its surroundings survived the best. So at that time, naturalists believed that all animals were created by God and there was no change. It was there from the day one of creation of earth. But he did not believe so. He worked for 20 years on the theory of evolution. The theory of evolution states that in changing conditions of environment, the organisms adapt, and the ones that adapt well survive and reproduce, and the ones that are not able to adapt die off. So he worked for about 20 years in this research, and he was not convinced. He got evidence as large as 1,000 pages, but he was waiting because he needed strong evidence, because the naturalists of his time believed that only God had created all creations and there was no exception to it. But after 20 years he published his research findings because another scientist called Russell Wallace was working on similar grounds. He feared that if he had published first, he wouldn't get the name. So he published a book on evolution by natural selection, and he became the man. He became known for evolution, and only after 100 years he was recognized, because only after 100 years did we get the evidence from DNA studies saying that all animals have diversified depending on the environmental conditions. For more such videos, do subscribe to the Next Sapien. This is Vishy signing off.